Hello all, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to explain why the CSS selectors locators are less powerful than XPath expressions locators. So let's get started. There are total 6 type of locators. What are they? First one is ID locator, then we have the name locator, then we have the class name locator, then we have the link text locator, then we have CSS selector locator, and finally, we have XPath expression locator. So these are the 6 types of locators which can help the automation tools like Selenium in finding or locating the UI elements on the web pages. Out of all these locator types, which one is the most powerful one? Highest powerful one is none other than XPath expressions. Why so? Let me explain. You see here we have total 6 type of locators. There may be some situations in real time where ID locator, name locator, class name locator, link text locator may not be able to help the automation tools like Selenium in finding or locating the elements on the web pages because as locators they may fail sometimes. In such kind of situations, the only 2 options will be left out. That is CSS selector locator, XPath expression. Most of the cases, if these 4 locator types are unable to help the automation tools in finding or locating the elements on the web pages, then we are left out with 2 options. That is CSS selector locator we can use to help the automation tool in finding or locating the element on the web page, or we can also use the XPath expression locator. These two will be helpful in most of the cases. But there may be some rare situations where even this CSS selector locator also won't be able to help the automation tool in finding or locating the element on the web pages. In such kind of situation, the final savior is going to be the XPath expression locator. Almost all UI elements, this XPath expression can locate. The kind of elements which cannot be located even with the help of CSS selector can also be able to located with the help of XPath expression locator. That's how powerful, or that's how much powerful this XPath expression locator is. Why so? Why is that? What is that concept behind this XPath expression locator, which actually makes it more powerful than other locator types we have? The simple concept we have in XPath expressions is XPath Axes. Okay, the concept behind the XPath expressions, which is actually making it the most powerful one than other locator types, is XPath Axes. So, because of this XPath Axes concept, XPath expressions are the highest powerful ones than other locator types. So, how does the XPath Axes make this XPath expressions the kind of powerful than other locator types? Let's assume that there is a web page. On this web page, we have different elements. Okay, we have different elements. So let's assume that there are 3 elements. Now, my requirement is to locate this element. Okay, I want to locate which element? This element. But the problem with this element is I'm not able to create a proper XPath expression directly to locate this UI element on the web page. So what I will do, if I'm not able to create a proper XPath expression for locating this particular element that I want to, what I will do, I'll try to find a nearby element. Let's say this is a nearby element. So for this nearby element, my requirement is to locate this element. Unfortunately, I'm not able to create a proper XPath expression for locating this element. So what I did, I'm going to look for some nearby element. Let's assume that this is a nearby element. For this nearby element of the element which I want to create the proper XPath expression for, which I'm not able to. So I'll choose a nearby element and I'll create let's say I'm able to create a proper XPath expression for locating this nearby element. Now, using that proper XPath expression of this nearby element, I will indirectly locate the required element. How? With the help of XPath Axes. Okay. So here I'll be first creating a proper XPath expression for locating the nearby element, and with the help of the XPath expression of a nearby element, I'm going to attach that with XPath Axes, and with the help of XPath Axes, with the XPath expression of the nearby element, I'll be indirectly locating the required element. Okay. So here I'm traversing upside. Okay. Here I'm going up which side? Upside direction. So this is possible with the help of XPath Axes. Not only that, guys, for example, your requirement is to locate this element. But unfortunately, you are not able to create a proper XPath expression for locating this UI element. So this UI element, you are not able to create a proper XPath expression for locating this element. So again, you will try to find the nearby element. Let's assume that this is a nearby element. Now for this nearby element, you are able to create a proper XPath expression. Now with the help of this proper XPath expression of the nearby element, indirectly, you are locating the required UI element. Okay. Indirectly with the help of XPath Axes, by attaching the XPath Axes to the proper XPath expression of this nearby element, you are indirectly locating the required element. Directly, it's not possible to create a proper XPath expression for locating this element, but you are indirectly locating the nearby element, and with the help of the proper XPath expression of the near element, indirectly you are locating the required element. Here, as part of this example, you are traversing down, right? So in the previous example, for locating this element, from this element you are going up like this. Now you are going down. So two sides directional, okay? In two directions you can navigate, either to the top or to the bottom you can navigate. This is what is the XPath expressions, okay? With the XPath axis concept, we can either go upside and go downside, okay? So this is what is a X with the help of, let's say this is XPath expressions. In XPath expressions, with the help of XPath axis, this is possible. This kind of scenario is possible where you can navigate up direction, okay, for locating the elements which can't be located directly, but with the help of the nearby elements XPath expressions, with the help of XPath axis, you are locating the required elements by traversing upwards, upside. Similarly, you can traverse downside and locate the required elements with the help of other element XPath expression with the help of XPath axis. So here directions are upside direction is there, downside direction is there. This is what is in XPath expression. But coming to the CSS selectors, let's assume this is another web page. On this web page also we have different elements. Okay, similar type of elements. Now you are, let's say you want to locate this element. Okay, you want to locate this element. This element you want to locate, but you are not able to create a proper CSS selector for locating this element. So what you will do? You will try to locate the nearby element for which you can create a proper CSS selector. Let's say for this for this element I want to locate with the help of proper CSS selector, which is not possible directly. So I want to locate a nearby element with a proper CSS selector. So after locating this particular nearby element with a proper CSS selector, with the help of that CSS selector, I want to locate the required element. Okay. So is that possible? Is this kind of direction possible like this with CSS selectors? Okay. It is not possible because CSS selectors doesn't have the concept known as XPath axis. So this kind of concept in CSS selectors is not possible, guys. In case of CSS selectors, this is not possible. In XPath expressions, it's possible, but in CS selectors, you cannot go like this. Okay, you cannot go like this. So this concept of XPath axis I already have explained in detail in one of the previous sessions of this course, guys. Assuming that you already have the knowledge of, I am actually explaining this concept for you in this particular session. Now, what about going downside? Is that possible with CS selectors? Okay, upside direction is not possible. At least can I go downside? So here, let's say my requirement is to locate this element with the help of CS selector, but I'm not able to create a proper CS selector for locating this element directly. So I'll try to find a nearby element for which I can create a proper CS selector for. Assume that this is an element for which I can create a proper CS selector and it's a nearby element. Let me locate this with the help of proper CS selector, this element, but my requirement is to locate this element. Now with the help of the CS selector of this particular element, can I indirectly locate this element that I want with CS selectors? That is possible. Okay, this is possible, guys. Upward is not possible, but downside is possible. Okay, this is possible. Okay, so this downside is possible, guys. Upside is not possible, but downside is possible. Only one direction is possible. Okay, so with the help of the CS selector locator of this element, nearby element, I can locate the required element, which is in the downside. But upside one I cannot do. But in case of XPath expression, I can go upside, downside both. So this is what is the difference between the CS selectors and XPath expressions, and this is the exact reason why. Okay, these exact reasons why XPath expressions are powerful than the CSS selectors. Okay, because of this particular drawback, sometimes CS selectors may not be able to locate few elements in very rare cases. In such kind of cases, XPath expressions will come to our, okay, will come to our use. Okay, they are the final saviors. Okay. The kind of elements which cannot be located with the help of CS selectors can be located with the XPath expressions because of this exact reason that I have explained in this section. So hope guys you understood why the CS selectors are less powerful when compared to the XPath expression locators. So that's all for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you. Bye bye.